Yeah, beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Stay positive, hope, and keep faith. Stand strong against any odds that you face. Put away the alcohol and the drugs. Fill your time with the things you love. Addiction is tough, but it's worth the work. Treat your body what it's worth. Spread positivity, inspire all. If we stand together, we will never fall. I help others see the other sides of life. A sober life, letting go of the strife. So give me a call, I can help. 1-844-4405-HELP. Homeless shelters, hospitals, jails, wherever you are. I am Ralf Friedrichs and I am here for you. 1-844-405-HELP. Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine, being buried alive. You're in the coffin, but you know you're not dead. You try to lift the coffin lid, but the weight of that dirt is enormous, so you can't open the lid. You don't know how to open the coffin. You just think about giving up. But then you say, maybe if I bang on the lid, I might unsettle the dirt that's on the lid, and maybe someone standing up there might notice the dirt move and start digging their way down to help me. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, probably, there are people standing by your grave, but you don't know that. You just think you're going to give up. Folks, usually, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind that maybe, just maybe, you might overdose and take away what God gave you, your life, not just away from yourself, but selfishly, you take it away from your loved ones and your friends. With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be the person on these index cards that I'm reading about that went to their grave without seeking help. Instead, put your finger on your wrist. Do you feel that pulse? Could you blink your eyes? Well, this, my friend, is a chance and a sign that you still have time to make a change in life. If you have a pulse, if you can breathe, if you can blink, you can make a change that can start today by reaching out to people like myself at 844-405-HELP. I want to help you take your life back before your life, my friend, is gone. There are other people like Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, good friend of mine, a life coach, an addiction recovery coach. He has over 30 years experience helping people like you. You can reach him at 516-458-2741. You can Google him at www.odysseyconsultant.org. Larry Geis will take you from your addiction to your recovery, from your depression to happier times, from your low self-esteem to raise your self-esteem up. Larry Geis is standing by, waiting for a phone call to help you, but you need to reach out to him. 516-458-2741. Larry and I always tell people like you, it doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter where you came from. What matters is that you are here, you realize you have an issue, and you want help. You want to be like this person that went to the grave without seeking help? This person probably didn't have to go to that grave had they just yelled out and said, I need help. This person, it's too late for this person, but not for you. If you're watching me, you are obviously still alive. Reach out to people like Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, 516-458-2741. Larry Geis and myself want to both help you take your life back before your life is gone. Folks, if you're watching my video and it seems a little blurry, it's not the quality of the video, it's the effectiveness of your glasses. Now, listen to this. I only take people on my show for me to promote them, to do commercials for them, is if I, A, believe in their product, and B, I feel if I can assist in their product. What does that basically mean? Well, I advertise for Larry because both Larry and I are addiction recovery coaches. We're both life coaches. I advertise for globalayeglasses.com because I have over 30 years experience in the optometry business, and they sell eyeglasses. So when people in my audience like you need glasses, they go to globalayeglasses.com. They get to choose from over 1,200 frames. They get to choose transition lenses, progressive lenses, line bifocals, thinner lenses, shatterproof lenses, different coatings, transition, photochromatics, all available there. And where I come into the picture is exclusively for my audience members. I will help you pick the right frame for you, the right lenses for you. We'll talk about your prescription. If you have any questions, you ask me. Then, when I send you back to finish your order online, I will give you a code that you can just put in the coupon code area, and that will get you free shipping. What you need to do is go to www.globalayeglasses.com. Let them focus on saving you money so you can focus on my show. 7 signs your friend might be headed for a relapse. It's often said in recovery circles that you are the last one to know if you're about to relapse. It can be very tough to be self-aware, and oftentimes we know loved ones supports to let us know if you and I, are slipping. If you have ever relapsed, which I have, you'll understand the pain, the shame that comes with it. Not only did you lose all the recovery time that you worked so hard to get, but your life is spiraling downhill and you're too ashamed and embarrassed. Folks, relapses will happen, probably quite often in the beginning, until you fully are committed and aware that you have a disease. Now, going on 3 years, I have not relapsed. Not only did you lose all the recovery time, but you feel like your life is spiraling. Picking yourself up after a relapse is possible. However, it is best to never let it get to that point. It is easy to stay clean and stay sober. In order to stay clean, we have to look out for one another, you and me. Sometimes we get worried how our friends are headed towards a relapse, but we don't know exactly what to look for. So here, for this video, I have 7 straightforward signs to look for if you think your friend is heading for a relapse. Number 1 sign is that they stop going to meetings. Not everyone gets into recovery for a 12-step fellowship, but for those who do, this is always would be the most glaring sign. Even for those who do attend meetings, not everyone goes to the meetings every single day. But for some, really depend on the meetings and fellowships to stay sober. It should be a concern when anyone admits that they are not going to the meetings anymore. Some people decide to stop attending meetings and still remain there within their sobriety, but it is still something to be aware of. It is a red flag. Meetings work, fellowship works, and helping one another as alcoholics and drug-addicted people is a most proven, reliable method to stay sober. If your friend stops going to meetings, you may want to have a conversation about that. Number 2 sign is they lose connection with their support group, which is kind of connected to they stop going to meetings. Everyone needs a little help sometimes. Once people in recovery start to think that they have it all figured out is when we, as their friends, should start worrying. Remember that a good support group will respect you enough to tell you when they think you're acting inappropriately. A good support group will call you out on your BS. When people start avoiding their supports, it's usually because they don't want to hear what they have to say. Probably because it's the truth. If you see a friend or a loved one that starts drifting away from the people that they are so used to being around in their support group, another red flag. Number 3, starts talking about having just one. Every addict or an alcoholic goes through that at some point or another. I have yet to meet someone in recovery, including myself, that hasn't wondered if they could go out and just have one drink with a friend or a glass of wine with dinner. It can play tricks on your mind, and it's important to tell the truth. If we could just have one, then we wouldn't be here. Most of us have been unwilling to admit we are real alcoholics. I, for one, know I am. No person likes to think he is bodily and mentally differently from his fellow friends. Therefore, it is not surprising that our drinking careers have been characterized by countless vain attempts to prove we could drink like any other person. The idea that somehow, someday, he will control and enjoy his drinking is a great obsession of every abnormal drinker. The obsession is very real. Sometimes we need to confront our loved ones. When you are stuck in this kind of thinking, it can be difficult to see ourselves. That's why we need people around us to tell us the truth. Number 4, your friend starts isolating themselves. There is always that possibility that your friend or your loved one is going through a tough time. Depression can sneak up on people. Dealing with depression is very difficult because it feels hopeless. It may feel as though the depression will last forever, and your mind fills with fears and worries and anxieties. Isolation is a common coping mechanism when people are feeling depressed. The problem with isolating is that when an addict is alone, they have no one to listen to but themselves. We get stuck in our heads, and there is no one to tell us otherwise. At some point, a soft, creeping voice in our minds may whisper the words, "Well, maybe a drink will make me feel better." If you notice your loved one isolating themselves, simply ask to have a talk and ask them what is going on in your life. Your support means more than you probably know. Number 5 is denial. They say things like, "It wasn't that bad." Actually, it was that bad. It's common for people with some clean time under their belts to start forgetting just how terrible life in addiction was. We learn so much about ourselves in recovery, and we imagine that we start drinking or using, we can maintain this life, and important, we'll never forget how bad it used to be. Speaking personally, this anguish of my withdrawals are and always will be a huge motivating factor in my daily reprieve from using. If a friend starts saying that things along the lines that it wasn't that bad, or I just had a little problem, do not hesitate to point out all the destruction and all the pain they caused while they were acting with the addiction. Don't hesitate to mention being shipped to a rehab or maybe even prison. Your tough love may save their life. For real addicts and alcoholics, there is no middle group. It's either all or it's nothing at all. Number 6 is talks about just wanting to be normal. This one is also very common. It's difficult to admit the truth. It's difficult to know in our hearts that no matter how hard we try, we will never be able to drink like other people. This is one of the most common reasons why people relapse. I've seen it happen over and over again. Countless times people love to pick up their first drink hoping that they can do it like everyone else. Over and over again, we have to watch them spiral down that dreaded path into full-blown addiction. It's one of the most peculiar things about addiction. We know it hasn't worked for other people. And number 7, starts replacing addictions. The drugs and alcohol aren't necessarily what addiction's all about. Addiction is a person not understanding themselves, not belonging to something, and coping with struggles in their spiritual, mental, emotional, physical lives. If someone starts acting obsessively, you should take notice. This might include the following: obsessive exercising, obsessive eating habits, counting calories, not eating enough, purging, and binge eating. Another sign is getting overly involved or concerned over a relationship. Another sign is cutting or other forms of self-mutilation. How about working around the clock or hoarding belongings? This is important because until the real issues are addressed, it is common for people to replace one addiction with another. Some would say that these other addictions are less harmful. They might argue that at least they're not shooting heroin. There may be some truth to that, but understand that drugs and drink are always in arm's reach. Unless the real issue or issues are addressed, the chances of relapse are always much greater. It is one thing to have a healthy workout routine or watch what you eat. It is another to do these things obsessively to where they take precedence over everything else in life. This is a real judgment call, but if a loved one is at the borderline, it's worth having the conversation. How to approach a friend when you think they will relapse. My best advice is to come to a place called love, compassion, and understanding. If you're having a talk with a friend about some concern, it's best to be honest. You will not be able to manipulate an addict. In fact, it may turn against you. Tell them that you love them, that you have seen them slipping, and you are very concerned. Come from a non-judgmental point of view. Tell them that you understand and that you just want to be there to help them. Relapse is heartbreaking for the families, the friends, and the person relapsing. So it's best to be supportive and remind them how far they've come and that they are doing a great job. If all fails, just show them a picture that you might have had from a party that they went to and they acted out of line. The 7 signs again were they stop going to meetings, they lose connection with the support group, they start talking about just having one, which you know is never going to work. Their friends start isolating, denial sets in, they start saying, it wasn't that bad being addicted. They start talking about just wanting to be normal, and they start replacing addictions with obsessive exercising, obsessive eating habits, counting calories, not eating enough, or purging or binge eating, getting overly involved or concerned over relationships, cutting or other forms of self-mutilation, and hoarding belongings. Relapse is heartbreaking for the families, the friends, and the person relapsing. So it's best to be supportive and remind them how far they've come and what they're doing is a great job. And if you need to, if you have pictures from the good old days where they acted like a buffoon, show it to them. Picture says a lot. Folks, I hope that this segment helped you to pinpoint when you see a friend. And even if you look in the mirror and some of these apply to you, relapsing will happen. It's happened to me 6 or 7 times before the final sobriety journey that I've been on, which is going on 3 years now. Until you are fully committed, and not only in mind, but in body and spiritually to sobriety, relapsing is very common. The key here is that when you do relapse, you know it's a mistake, you dust your knees, you stand straight up, and you try it again and again and again. I hope to God that you have the best day of your life. I hope and I pray that you all have a sober day. And if you have any friends that look like they might relapse, be there as a crutch. Let them lean on you.
Yeah, change your future, it starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today. The show is over, but your life starts today. Taking back your life's the only way. Keep faith, stay positive, push through. Take back your life, it starts with you. Alcohol and drugs can't control your life. Let go of the negative and the strife. Ralf Friedrichs is the man guiding your way. The show is over, but your life starts today. Call Ralf Friedrichs at 1-844-405-HELP. That's 1-844-405-HELP. We hope you love the show today and tune in next time. Take back your life today show with Ralf Friedrichs.